Aho. Iuta, testing. Oshti. Oha. Ho'oyate, hochteituke. Ake Dakota api, du haun skampte unka. Ho takoja. Hiu kiis ni cha et tisti edi wichi bidabedikte. Cha dina uga anagop tana kapi hecha ha. Ohetaaku iwoa hadakikteche. Taakushnishni ape. Apetu kinde tokhetu. Awetu ish ptanyetu kinde. Atokhetu taku hina. Tiktisteri iwoa hadake kaheche. Dakota I apke. Honayach umpte. Nayach umpka ha. Ioja kachne rapte. Kechami. Achachtaitu kinde. Ohet istira heched. Ahe umiakapte. Chanteo ashtea. Iau chichiapt. O Dakota apke. Dakodi apke. Ho teochindapte. Kikik chupi. Chimpe. Ho chauga anagapte nakape dehan ish. Tohan. O de anagaptam ta hecha hina. Anija ahe iduk champte. Kechin hechera wahino je mishchtaitu. Good evening, everybody, Sioux Valley members and those that are listening from outside the community. My name is Oswald McKay. I'm from Sioux Valley, for those that don't know me. I will be talking to you about the language this evening. Of course, that's what it's all about, Dakota language sessions. We believe that the Dakota language is important for our well-being, spiritually, physically, legally. It's important. So I always try to stress that importance. To be who Creator gave you life to be, a Dakota, with a tradition, with a territory. These are the kinds of things that make us a Dakota individual. We often hear words like Toket Inichiape. And we've heard these before prior sessions that we've had. Toked or Toket Ked. Toket Inichiape. What are you called? What do they call you? Name. Usually it's a name that's being requested. Toket Inichiape ha. O Oswald Make Makiape. Wakia o each iwa Makiape. Thunderbird that paints himself. That's my Dakota name. Tokiataha Yahiha. Where did you come from? Or where are you from? Tokiataha Yahiha. Wipazokawakpa. Hechiataha Wahi. Or Sioux Valley. Hechiataha Wahi. I come from Sioux Valley. These are ordinary words that we always hear. When you hear a group or a couple of guys, ladies talking, they'll be talking Dakota using those words. I'm assuming that you've listened to the other sessions, so I'm assuming that you know these words already. Dokiataha, from where? Yahi, you came, you come. These words, I'm assuming that you've done your homework and you know what they are. So we're going to put them, I'll try to put them in sentence form, short sentences, so that you can follow along, practice, and use in your daily life, daily activities. So it is important to be who you are supposed to be, given to you by Creator. That is your name, your tribe, and your territory. 3 things. That is who you are. We have to know who we are. Who are we? Who are we? We are Dakota nation. Dakota oyate he untahampe. Dakota unkiape. Dakota wichoch e chunkope. Dakota makoche en uyakope. These 3 things. We have the language. We're from the Sioux Valley community in the territory of Dakota. These words, these concepts, if you understand, will make you understand who you are. So it's very important. So I will go along and talk about just general things today. What was the day like today? Or what day is it today? What season are we in? And what are those activities that we might do in this season? For the men anyway. I have relatives, Hankashidas, over here that, the ladies, they talk a little bit different on different subjects. So as a male, I will talk about what the male does. And that's what I'm thinking I will talk about today, this evening. Hey, Chitu, that is what it's going to be. So going along with that theme, I have a few words up here. Wiyawapi, the calendar month. Wiyawapi. Ampetu, the day. Ptanyetu, the season. Ptanyetu. These are just 3 words describing the time that we are in today. The day we are in, we can say Ampetu day in Inupa, the second. Day second, or the second day. Of course, we know the word ampetu, that's the day. Ampetu. Inupa, we know Nupa is 2. Inupa, the second one. Ampetu Inupa. Where did we get that Ampetu Inupa from? The second day. Second day to what? Yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday. Yesterday, Mondays, was Ampetu Tokaheya. Ampetu Tokaheya. Ampetu Tokaheya, the first day. Ampetu Tokaheya, or Monday. Ampetu Inupa, the second day. First and second day to what? Taku. What? Well, the day before the first day, we know as Sunday. Sunday. Ampetuakan. That's the last day in the week. Ampetuakan. The holy day, or this is according to Christianity. Of course, the calendar is a Christian calendar. Saturday is Owanka Yujajapi. Back in the day, a long time ago, when the settlers first came here, they used to do their weekly cleaning on a Saturday. So they named Saturday according to the activity, at least in Dakota anyway. When I was a young boy, I used to ask my grandma that. Apet do you tetaku? Owanka yujajapi ache. Owanka yujajapi. You wash your floor. Because back in the day, some of the ladies here, they used to help the farmer settlers, the wives, clean their homes on a Saturday. So that's where Owanka. Owanka is the floor. Owanka yujajapi. Owanka yujajapi. Washing the floor day. That's a Saturday. Ampetu wakan is Sunday. Ampetu tokahaya Monday. And today is Tuesday. So Ampetu inupa. 2 days after Owanka, no, 2 days after Ampetu wakan. 2 days after Sunday. That's where we're at today. So I'm assuming that you know these words already anyway. So we're going to try them. You are going to try to put them in a sentence form. So when the old guys are standing at the band office or at the gas bar, they're talking away, then you'll understand what they're talking about. They might say, Ho koda. Hello, my friend. Ho koda. Do how are you doing? And these words we've talked about already in prior sessions. How are you doing? And there's many answers to that. If I'm feeling all right, I say, okay. You know, kind of okay. Waundo, I am. I'm living. Waundo. Kindash, oh no, that's Cree. Nish, though. What about you? Nish. Dokedyaon. Nish dokedyaon. That's a kind of a conversation you'll hear at these gathering places. I'll just write them down maybe as a reference to reminder how these words are spelt. Okay, Ampetug de Toked or Tokedked Yaun. That's an N. Ampetug de Toked Yaun. Or Ampetug de, in a longer fashion, Tokedked Yaun. Tanya wa do or ye. Tanya munda. You know, just like that. Oh, koratoket kerion. Oh, tanya munda. Nishta. Oh, mija. Mija. Me too. Mija. Tanya munda. That's the kind of conversation you will hear with the older guys standing at the gas bar or at the gaming center. If you go to the, just to stay on that, if you go to the gaming center, what will be the conversation be like at the gaming center? Oh, yeah, huh? Did you win? Oh, yeah. Winning. Oh, yeah, huh? You might say, oh, a chess. You know, yes, for sure. Oh, yeah, oh, I did not win. Oh, it's bad, you know. You kind of exaggerate, right? That's the kind of conversation you might hear at the gaming center. Go to the section where the old people sit over there where they're smoking, and you'll hear them talking. Just go and listen. Try to pick up words that you know, and you can follow along. One of my Tahashis is famous for saying, I only need one more number. You know? He never gets that because he says he never wins. So why do you go there, Tahashi? You know, Tokacha head da, Tokacha, why? Head there, da, he, you go. He always says that. I remember him saying that. So those are the kinds of conversations you will hear at the gaming center. And of course, at the gaming center, there's coffee there. You know, Pejuta sapa, coffee. Pejuta sapa. Did we learn that word now? Pejuta sapa? Pejuta sapa. Pejuta is, of course, medicine. Medicine. And sapa, black or dark. Pejuta sapa, coffee. Wakhpe. Tea. Wakhpe. So going to the gaming, you might hear these words. Pejuta sapa yatkebede. I'm going to gaming to drink coffee. Pejuta sapa yatke, drink. Yatke. Bede, I'm going. Pejuta sapa yatke bede. They don't never say, I'm going to go gamble. They always use an excuse, right? Go drink some coffee or something like that. Pejuta sapa yatke bede. I'm going over there to drink coffee. Meaning to relax and visit with coffee, right? With your tahashis and, have a good evening. Or some say, Hohechia over there, gaming hechia, wakhpe, tea, wakhpe yatkebede. I'm going to gaming to drink tea. Gaming hechia over there, hechia, wakhpe yatke bede. I'm going to gaming to drink some tea, meaning I'm going to relax and visit, have a good evening. These are the things that they don't say, but that's what they're implying. So when you go there, you will hear those words. For the smokers, they say, okay, well, chandi do ha hai. Do you have a chandi? Chandi waji to maku. Give me a chandi. Because chandi goes well with pijuta sapa wachpe. And they'll sit and visit, They talk back and forth. Nothing really serious, but, they just, talk back and forth. Visiting, playing. Shkata pi. Shkata is playing. Shkata. Shkata, just like skate, kind of close. Shkata. P. Shkata is just one person. Shkata, he's shkata. He's playing. Shkata P would be more than one person. They're playing. Shkata P. So these are words that you will hear at the gaming. So go there and listen to the old people, and then you will hear these words. Now you know what they're talking about. That's just a little bit of words, sentences that you might hear at the gaming. What about the gas bar? What kind of words or sentences will you hear at the gas bar? $20. Wakan hidi. Wakan hidi. Back in the day, I imagine the old people didn't know how to say gas, petrol. But if you put it in there, it makes that car go. They couldn't understand it, so they said it was wakan. It's something, mysterious, because they don't understand it, right? So they named it wakan, mysterious. Hidi, ihidi, it's the oil or the grease, the essence of wakan. Wakan hidi. When you put it in your yechinka money, it makes it go. I don't know how it works, but it does. So it's mysterious. Wakan hidi. So when you go to the gas bar, wakan hidi, tipi. Wakan hidi tipi. The place where wakan hidi is. The house where wakan hidi is. Wakan hidi tipi. The gas bar. So a conversation might be at the gas bar. Now, if the proprietor, awayanke, the one that looks after it, awayanke, happens to be Dakota speaker, he might ask you, or she might ask you, Tonakcha, how much? Tonakcha, yachin hai. How much you want? Tonakcha, yachin, you want. And I think we've covered tonakcha or yachin. Tonakcha. Remember a C, and always get question on that C, the letter C. It's always a ch sound, a CH sound. Ch. Whenever you see the letter C, it's always a CH sound. It never changes. So always remember that. So tonak cha ya chin. And that goes for anything, whether it's money or apples or anything. How much do you want? Donakcha. How much you want? Donakcha. How much you want? And again, I'm assuming that we've covered some of these words already. So I'm just putting them in sentence form. What you might hear at the gas bar. Oh, one of the old people might walk in, ask the clerk there, the one behind the desk, he said, you might hear, say, Chandi duhapi ha? Do you have cigarettes? Somebody might want to buy a cigarette. Chandi we pay ayapi ha? Are you selling cigarettes? We pay ya, to sell. We pay yapi. Are you selling? Chandi. And then the answer might be ho or huh. Wajituk teyachin. Which one do you want? What flavor? And they might say, hey, number 7, or I like tobacco, whatever. So those are the conversations that you might hear at these establishments. So I encourage you to go and listen. You'll hear these words and then you'll know what they're talking about. Or they might ask for things like mini, sni, na. Cool. Mini, water. Sni is cold or cool. Mini, snina. Snina. Cool water. That could be just water, yes? Yeah. Mini, sni, duhapi. You have cold water. Or mini, snina is your pop, your Coke, your Pepsi, whatever flavor it is. So mini snina duhapi ha? Do you have mini snina? Oh, huh. Takuya, wajituk tayachi. Waji, which one do you want? Pepsi, orange, like that. Mini snina duhapi ha? Oh. Unyu happy. Yes, we have. Unyu happy. So these are the kinds of words and sentences you will hear at the gas bar convenience store. So always go there and listen. Just kind of stand there, especially when the old people come in, and they will talk Dakota. I encourage you to do that. And if you don't know a word, go up there and kindly ask, hey, taku yaka. Taku, what? Yaka, you're saying. Taku yaka. And I'm sure they will explain. I'll explain to you. Taku yaka, what? Saying. And I'm sure we will accommodate you. Because those of us that are fluent in the language, we know how important language is. And we really want the young people, the generation following us, we really, really want you to learn. Because as I said, that is where wellness is. That is where life is as a Dakota. All kinds of things, good things you can take from the language, and you can't separate language with culture. Culture is the things we do as Dakota. Whatever it is, that's our culture. He cha-unk umpi che-e. This is what we do. He cha-unk umpi. We do. Che-e. We do. Hechunk umpi je. That is, we're known for that. So, very important. And I'm going to keep on stressing that. Because you have to, not you may, or if you want to know, you have to know the language. I've said that before, because what makes a nation? What makes a nation? And we say, we're from Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation. Okay, prove it. Some government official might say that. Where are you from? You know, Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation. Oh, where is that? Okay. Okay, well, I hear you, but you prove it. You're a nation. What is a nation? There's criterias that must be met in order for a nation to be called a nation, a rightful nation. First of all, you have to have a territory where you're from, a territory. Within this territory, there must be people or citizens. Within this territory, there must be a language. And using that language, you have to have your own laws. And you have to have your traditions. Those are 5 things that you must conform to or be to call yourself a nation. That's just common knowledge. Maybe it might fall under international laws, maybe. Because they have to define what a nation is. And we have to satisfy, let's say, these 5 different things. You can add, I don't want to say religion, but that's part of out there what they consider also a religion, our form of prayer. And we certainly have that as Dakota. We might be losing it a little bit, which concerns me. But these are, say, like 6 things that you must satisfy to proudly and correctly and legally say, I'm from Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation. Hey, how great is that, right? If you profess that, then you have to prove it. Because it's not going to be the Indian that's going to determine if you are a nation or not. You can say it as many times as you want. But the government who has the last say legally, if you're a nation or not, he might think different. But he'll use these criteria to determine whether you are or not. So that is why I say it's important. So learning these simple words, learning to use them, put them in practice. Yech umpte, you are going to use it. Wech umpte, I am going to use it. Unkich umpte, we, including myself, we are going to use it. And I've heard other sessions we've talked like that. We, you, and myself. Unkie, nia, mia. We have to use it to prove, or to those that might want to know that we are a nation. I'm an individual Dakota from that nation, and we have to prove that. So these are the kinds of words that you might hear at the Wakandi tipi, at the gas bar. There's all kinds of items in the gas bar, chahampi, shashada, candy, there's stuff like that. You can learn how to say those, and if you don't, use the English version. Give me some chips. How simple is that? You know? Barbecue chips, what she? I want barbecue chips. How simple is that? Pepsi, what she? Okay, here it is. Donakcha iyahadawa, how much are you charging for this? Donakcha, how much iyahadawa? How much are you charging for this item? Mazaska num, mazaska yamani, dopa zapta shakpe. Samhanke, mazaska waji samhanke, $1.50, $1.50, like stuff like that, right? You can go and ask, you can find these things out. There are some really good reference books that we don't have them here at the moment, but hopefully, talking to the appropriate officials here, we might try to get some written words, sentences out to the different community homes, individuals, that kind of thing. So, but that's still in the works, so I'm not going to explain that too much. But that way you have the written thing there, and you can follow along and make it easier. You'll understand it better. Understand it. I understand. You understand. We will understand. So that is what is being talked about, but we haven't really gotten it going yet. So that's the gas bar talk, okay? Gas bar words you might hear. So, and in preparation in the morning, you go to bed, and in the morning you all of a sudden wake up. You come awake. What is the word for that? Wekta. Wekta. I'll just talk about everyday things. Wekta. You didn't get up yet. No. You just became awake. Wekta. I'm awake. I'm conscious. Wekta. Wana wekta. I am awake. I am conscious. I'm still lying in bed, but I have my eyes open. My brain is working. Wana wekta. I'm conscious. Wana wekta. Or you can go knock on family members' door and say, Wana yekta hai. Are you awake now? Wana yekta hai. If that was me, I'd say, Ho. Wana wekta do. Yes, I'm awake now. I'm conscious. My eyes are open. Wana wekta do. And the person might say, if it's a lady, say, Iho. Or if it's a man, you might say, Ho. Ho iota kawona ka. If you're wekta, if you're a kikta, iota kawo, sit up. Get up. For ladies, for the female, they'll just say this, iotaka. Get up. Sit up. You're still lying down. Yes, you're wekta. Yes, you are, but sit up. Don't be lazy. Get up. Sit up. Iotaka. Wana iotaka. Ladies will say. Men will say, wana iotaka. Might be Takoja, or your son, your daughter might be going to school or whatever. Knock on the door. Katoto. Katoto. Knock on the door. Wana yektaha. Are you awake? Ho. Iotakawo naka. Iotakawo. Sit up. Stand up. Get up. Move around. Iotakawo. These are the morning words that you might hear. And you should hear and you should use. How simple is that? A few words. Wanayektaha means a lot. Wanayotaka. Wanayotaka wo. Get up now. Greet the day. Ampetu wayaka wo. See the day. Ampetu wayaka wo. If you're wekta and if you're iotaka, then you will greet the day. Ampetu wayaka. Female will say that. Wanayekta, wanayotaka, ampetu wayaka. See the day. Wanawi hinape. The sun has come up. We hinape. We hinape. The sun is up. Wana yekta. Are you awake? Huh? Iataka. Sit up, get up. We hinape. The sun is shining, it's up now. Time to start the day. Get your day started. So these are the kinds of words and short sentences that you can use to greet each other in the morning. And I know you can do it. I know you can say these things. Because your spirit is going to tell you. You need to learn these. Then your brain will say, well, yeah, okay, you know. I'll learn. Stodwaikte. I will learn. I will understand. Stodwaikte. Me chante, my heart says, Stodwaikte. I will understand. So like today, well, when this conversation is going on, you might say, the person waking you up might say, Wana wachpe. What was wachpe again? Tea, right? Wana wachpe wiyaya. The tea is ready. Because you're wekta, wana you're yekta, wana you're iotaka, moving around. Wana ampetu wadaka, you saw the sun. Wana wachpe wiyaya. The tea is ready. The tea is ready. So have some. Wachpe wiyaya. Wiyaya is ready. Wachpe wiyaya. The tea is ready. Ure yachin. Some. Ure yachin. You want. Some you want? If I was me, I'd say, oh, ure. Some watching. I want some. Ure watching. No, if I'm not a tea drinker, what about if I'm a coffee drinker? Pijuta sapa. The conversation might be about that. Say, pijuta sapa wana wiyaya. The coffee is ready. Pijuta sapa wakare. I made pijuta sapa wakare. Wana wiyaya. Pijuta sapa wakare wana wiyaya. Ureachin. Do you want some? Now I'm a coffee drinker. I drink coffee 24 hours a day. Sure. I say, oh, ure mak'ua. Yes. Give me some. Ure mak'ua. Ure mak'ua. Pijuta sapa. Ure mak'ua. Give me some pijuta sapa. And you start your day. You might want to have cereal or eggs or witka, you know? Witka. Eggs. Witka yachin. You want eggs? Witka yachin. You want yachin. Witka is egg. Kukushe babadapi yachin. Kukushe is the pig. Babadapi is the cut thin. The bacon. Huh? Who loves bacon? We all do. We all love bacon. Gotta have that. Huh?
How did you say that? Kukushi.
Babadapi. Or kabadapi. Either way. Kukushi kabadapi. Or kukushi babadapi. Cut in thin strips. Yeah, chin hai. Oh, wachinda. Kukushi kabadapi wachinda. I want bacon. Naku witka wachinda. I want egg. Bado ishto. You want some potato? It could be hash browns. It could be your own potato, you know. Bado. Doesn't matter how. Bado yachin. He nakun. That. Nakun. That also. He nakun. That also. Wachin. I want that also. So this is the kind of conversation that you might be having in the morning. And after you finish your breakfast and wachpe was good, Pajuta Sapa was good, Witka was good, Kukushi Pabdapi was burnt, but still good, Ruyape. If it's on there too long, you're going to burn it. Look after it. Awanyaka. Look after it. Awanyaka. But it tastes good. I like burnt bacon. I really do. Wakage. I make. Wakage. I make. Pijuta Sapa. Wakage. That's one of the questions from the audience here. Wakage, I make. Pijuta Sapa, wakage. I made coffee. Or wachpe, wakage, I made. Ureachin, you want some. Oh, give me some. Or you can say, here, wachinshne, I don't want. I don't want wachpe. Wachpe wachinshne. Pijuta Sapa wachin. I don't want the tea. Wachinshne. Not. I don't want. Wachpe wachinshne. Pijuta Sapa wachin. I'd rather have my coffee. Or it could be the other way around. Pijuta Sapa wachinshne. Wachpe wachin. Maybe the ladies will more apt to say that. They like their tea. Wachpe. So practice those. That's your everyday, in the morning conversation that you might use, that you might hear, that you should use and you should hear. That's the goal, right? The goal is to hear it and use it. So you can say you come from a nation. Okay? What you're doing when you use it, when you speak it, what you're doing is you're preserving a nation. How important is that? You're preserving your nation by speaking it and doing it. You're preserving, you're responsible. You're responsible for that. So, you had your breakfast, you had your kukushe, your pig, your witka, your egg, wachpe, pijuta sapa, you enjoyed it. Now you might want to go to work, right? Oh, wa'echamu, yeah. Wa'echamu, I do Taku e chamu, I do. Chtawani, I toil. These are work-related words. Wa e chamu, I'm doing something. Chtawani, I'm toiling at whatever I'm doing. Chtawani. Wowashe chamu, I'm working. These are just words that you use to describe employment, if you want to call it that. Work, whatever it may be. You could be a secretary, you could be the gas bar attendant, or you could be one of the clerks over at the gaming. You're going to work. I'm going to go to work now. Oh, no. I'm going to go to work now. Should I write that down? I'm going to go to work. Whoop. Wa'echum is more common than chtani or woashe. Wa'echum is more common here anyway. Wa, e, chum. Remember, C is always a CH sound? Always CH. Wa'echum. Wana, now. Wana, wa'echum, bede, I go kte. Now I'm going to go to work. Wana, wa'echum, bede kte. I'm going to go to work now. This morning, today, for those of you that went wa'echum, you went working, you're on the road. Chanku ohana dape here. There's a road here. Chanku ohana. On there. Dape, you're going. Chanku ohana bede, I'm going. But what did we see? Or what didn't we see? Especially this afternoon. Remember it was foggy? Yeah. Oh. Not bo. It's oh. Chanku, of course, is the road. Oh, hana. Upon and or whatever. Oh, hana. On. Let's say it's on. Chanku, oh, hana. Road on. If I can spell this correctly, I'll be all right? How do you spell it? Oh, yeah. R-O-A-D. Chanku, oh, hana. But remember, it was O. O. The emphasis is on the O. O. Especially this afternoon, huh?
Like an
Exploding P, yeah, exploding P. O, yeah. Chankuki, O. The road is foggy. Tayan wabidakishni. I can't see properly. Tayan is good, properly. Tayan, good, properly. Tayan. Wabidakishni. See, wabidaka, see, shni. Not. Shni, yeah. Wabidakishni. Yeah. Wabidakishni. Chanku, Tayan, Wabidakishni. I can't see the root clearly. Do kecha. Why? You might be on the phone, right? Or you might be texting. They might ask you, Do kecha. Why? Oh, it's foggy. Oh, you know. That's what we had today. We had fog. We had oh. So vehicles are iwashteda. They're going really slow. Iwashteda. Because dayan waakapshni, they can't see properly. So that's a good word to know. Oh. can't see because of the fog. What about if it is really windy and the snow is getting blown around and visibility is zero, but you still want to go to the gas bar, right? Or to the gaming? Ichamana. And we're going to see those weather patterns pretty soon. Ichamana. Ichamana. What does ichamana mean? Ichamana. Storming. Storm. I'll just write storm. Storming. Ichamana. Wanietu. Wanietu. Wanietu ichamana. It's winter storm. Dayan wabadakishne. I can't see properly the road. Dayan wabadakishne. So I'll stay home. Edma kekte. I'll stay at home. Edma kekte. There I will sit, meaning at home. Or you can say tiata, at home. Makekte. I will sit at home. Because wanietu ichamana. It's storming and you can't see chanku, can't see the road. And that we will see later on as we get on into the winter, the real winter seasons. And then you will hear words like osnido. It's cold. Osni. Osnike. Osnike is cold. Osnike. Osnike. It's cold. We can shorten it, say osni. You hear that sometimes at the gas bar or at the gaming. Oh, karatokita, osnida, osnida. Ha. You agree. Tokiadahe, where are you going? Echan. Echan, osni, echan. Jeez, where are you going? Tokia. Tokia. Osni, Tokia dahe. Where are you going? It's cold. Gas bar hichibededo. Gaming hichibededo. Wach peyat gebede. Wach pjuta sapa yat gebede. Remember the other sentences over there? Or you can say, O tonweta bede. I'm going to town. Tokia. Where? Tokia. Otonweta is kind of like a newer version of a settlement. It's Otiwita. Otiwita. Oti, where you live within. Oti. Wita. Oti, Wita. Wita, Oti is within, kinda, right? You'd say? Hankashi. Within, right? Oti, where you live. Wita is an island. Island. Oti Wita, an island of homes. That's the town. Could be Griswold, could be Brandon. Otiwita. But now we say Otunweta. Otunweta. I'm going to the town. I'm going to town. Otiwita, Otunweta, bede. I am going. You might say, Osni, echada, soon, echada, wahadi. Echada, soon, wahadi, I get home, kte, I will. Echada wahadi kte, I will come home soon. It's usni.
So you have Otiwita, Otu,
Otunweta, either or. Yeah. Otun is where people have been growing. When you have a child, just like a child, you're born it, right? Otunweta, tun is to make it come alive, because a settlement is growing all the time. Otunweta, where the settlement is thriving, growing. Otunweta. Otunweta bde. I'm going to that thriving community where houses are together like an island. Wita. Remember Prairie Island? Tinta Wita is Prairie Island. Tinta Wita. Where there's lots of foresty area, but there's an island of prairie there. That's what they're calling Tinta Wita. Tinta is a clearing, a prairie. Wita is an island, so a prairie island amongst forests, that sort of thing. That's Prairie Island. Wita. Otoita bede. I'm going to town. So these are the kind of conversations, the words that you might hear. And I'm not writing everything that I've said down, but it's being recorded, so you can always go back. Otoeta bede. Tokecha. Why? That could be the conversation. Otoeta bede. Tokecha. Wa echum bede. I'm going to work. Wa echum bede. Usning echan while it's cold. Wa echum bede. Or you can go shopping, Wo pe tum. Shopping. Remember, Christmas is coming up. Wo pe tum. Wo pe tum. Shopping. I'm going to Otoeta to Wo pe tum, to shop. Oh, O tanya yawo. Tanya ya. Tanya. Good. Or okay. Tanya ya. Tanya ya. Or ya wo for men. Tanya ya wo. Usni ichamana. Or chanku. The road is slippery, just like how it is right now. Slippery. Shadute. Let's put that down. Chanku. Shadute. The road is slippery, just like today, yesterday, a few days ago. Chanku shadute. The road is slippery. Tanya yawo. The road is slippery. Tanya yawo. Drive carefully. Go carefully. Tanya yawo. You can further on conversate and say, Taku hoeda. Weda. Taku, what? Hoeda you're going for. To Otueta. You can use words like Tado hoebede. What's Tado? Meat, right? Tado hoebede. Or Tado wachin. Tado hoebede. Agoyapi wachin. I want bread. Agoyapi hoebede. I'm going to purchase bread. Wopetu. Daku hoeda. Yeah, hoeda. This is a mistake right here. Disregard this. Hoeda. That's my spelling mistake. Hoeda. W-E-D-A. Hoeda. Taku hoeda. Taku hoeda is what are you going for? Taku is what. What? Taku. Hoeda, you go for. So these are everyday language, everyday sentences and words that you will use to explain yourself what you are doing today. As I said, could be waicho, you're going to work, chtani, you're going to work, or upitu, you're going to go purchase something in town. Utin wita, utun weta. Bide, I'm going. Bide. So these are the kinds of words that you will hear just being around a community here, where we gather, where we come together. And these are the kind of conversations, the words that they'll be using. So practice them. Keep on going back to the video and keep on saying it. Keep on saying it. And it will become second nature. My Takoja, you don't even know how old he is, maybe going on to 2 years old now. Maybe 3, I can't, I don't know. Anyways, he's this tall. And he likes horses, you know. Shunkawakan, he'll say. Shunkawakan. Shkata wo. Shunkawakan hashkata wo. He'll go and do it. He knows, you know. And then last time he visited, a couple of days ago, of course he had his bag of horses, and there was one donkey in there. I said, Takoja, detaku, what's this? Shunkawakan. He says, no, it's not Shunkawakan. He looks at me. Shun shun. He looks at me. Shun shun, he says. So that afternoon, it just took me twice to tell him what it is. Shun shun. Ichua. Shun shun. Yohashikato. Then he knew. After that, he knows what the mule or the donkey is. Today, he knows it. Shun shun. Yeah, it's over there. Not shunkawakan. Shun shun. So kids can learn. Kids can learn quicker than the adults, I would say, because that will be their first language, right? Just like me, when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, I was a cute kid. Oh yeah, yeah, real cute kid. I knew you were going to say something. Anyways, so when I was a kid, when I remember, I was living with my grandma. Always Dakota, nothing but Dakota, nothing, just Dakota. That's all I heard, that's all I used. But there's some Dakota words that I didn't understand growing up. These are higher words like adults use, right? There's one word that stumped me, I can't remember what it was, but it had to do with I think it was going to work or going somewhere. Anyway, they used a word that I couldn't figure it out. I was standing there, what does that mean? What does that mean? Hey, taku kapi, taku kapi. But right at that moment, I couldn't understand the word they used. So I was thinking, okay, eventually I will hear it again. So it might have been like maybe 2 or 3 days later or whatever. And then I was thinking, once I hear it again, see what the conversation was about, then I can figure it out. And it took me a while to figure out what it is, that word that they're using. But I had to listen to them, see what they're talking about, and when they use that word again, then I knew what they're talking about. So Dakota was my first language. And I know the ones that are learning, the difficulty you might be having trying to learn a second language, which is Dakota to you. To me, the second language I had to learn was English, and I had a hard time. Get spanked and reprimanded at the school over here, but I still persisted to speak the language. I kept on talking. And I don't know how many straps I got, lots. But, that's what I had to do to be able to preserve the language within myself. To preserve the language within myself, I had to go through physical abuse to do it. So I know it's difficult as a learner of the language, but knowing how important it is should give you the courage to learn it. Because number one thing why we lost the language is so they can conquer us. The colonists didn't want us speaking and living our way, because that's where we get our strength from, is language and culture, a way of life, a territory. If they take our language and our culture away, we'll be easier managed. They'll manage us easier. So today they talk about reconciliation. If you understand that word, what reconciliation is, the government is saying this. We will reconcile with you for taking your language away, for taking your culture away, or taking your resources away from you, your territory. We took all this away from you since 1800s. And we're going to reconcile. So what does that mean to us? What does that mean? What should that mean to you as an individual? Language and culture. Okay, let's do that. So now you're fighting against the system, that their plan is not going to work. That should give you enough courage to keep on going, using the language and learning the language. Because they took that away from you to better control you. Now they're going to put it back. Okay, thank you very much. I will relearn it so that I can be a nation again. We didn't lose it yet. We didn't lose our nationhood yet, not yet. But if we don't do anything from now on, it might happen. It very, very could happen that we're going to lose our nationhood. Yeah, we can continue calling ourselves nation after that if you want to, but, okay, prove it. So it's up to us to preserve it. In our Constitution, it says that, to promote, preserve, and protect our language. Are we doing that? Well, this is what it is we're trying to do. To promote, preserve, and protect it. So, you're going to work or you're going to go buy groceries, wopetu. Achada wahadikte, I'll be back soon, Achada wahadikte, I'll be back soon. Achada wahadikte. Wahadikte. So these are the words that you will often use in an everyday language. Everyday language. We will, as we go along through the sessions, we will reinforce these concepts. We will reinforce these words and these sentences, the sentence structures. We will keep on reinforcing it so that when we do use them again in the future, you'll know what we're talking about. What is the day like? Oh, I know what that is. Wahiha, it's snowing. Wahiha, it's snowing. Maraju, it's raining. So when it's you have to watch the chanku, the road. Tayan yawa. Iwayang yawa, look at where you're going. Iwayang yawa. So we're in Wetu, we're finishing Wetu. Wetu is fall, Wetu. is fall. Wanietu, well now we're getting into winter. Wanietu. We're getting into Wanietu. Wanietu. Who can spell that? Wa. Wa is what? Snow. Wani ye do. Winter. Winter. Wanietu. It's winter time. It's usni. It's cold. Usnike. It's cold. Wahihe. It's snowing. Tateampa. It's windy. Tateampa. Ichamana. It's storming. Ichamana. These are words, easy words that you can figure out. Tateampa, Ichamana, Wahihe, or Magaju. Or none of that happens, it's what? Owashte chake. Owashte chake. Owashte chake. It's beautiful. It's beautiful outside. Owashte chake. There's an A here. Owashte chake. It's beautiful outside. Owashte chake. Owashte chake do. Owashte chake. Owashte. Otun tabidekte do. I'm going to go to town. But what if it's cold? Then what? Then you need a jacket, right? A winter jacket. How do you say jacket? Akan umpi. Akan is on top. Umpi you wear. You wear on top. Akan umpi. Akan umpi. What you wear on top of your everyday clothes. Your shirt, your pants. Akan, you wear it on top. Akan umpi is your coat. Coat. A big coat. Akan umpi. A coat. Akanupi. Akanupi tokanu. You might ask one of your takojas, where is your akanupi? What did you do with your akanupi? Tokanu. What did you do with it? Akanupi tokanu. What did you do with your coat? Akanumpi. Well, there's many different kinds of, more than one style of akanumpi. For winter, it'll be wanietu, right? Remember wanietu? Wanietu akanumpi. Your winter coat. Wanietu akanumpi. Tokanu. Where is it? What did you do with it? Odechia is over here. Ichu. Go get it. Ichu. Au. Bring it. Eched put it on. Au, ichu, au, put it on. Kichun is put it on. It's yours. So that's winter coat. Akan umpi. Wanietu akan umpi. Winter coat. Wapaha. What is that? Wapaha. We learned that before, right? Wapaha. Hat. Wanietu. Wapaha. It could be a furry cap. And it could have ear flaps. Wanito apaha, it's more choza. It's more thicker. Choza. Wanito apaha is choza. Choza. It's warm. Wanito apaha is choza. It's warm. Wanito apaha is choza. Where is your napinkpa? Napinkpa tokano. Where is your gloves? Where is your mittens? Napinkpa. Napinkpa. Na pink. Napinkpa. Napinkpa. Your gloves, your mittens. Tokano, what did you do with it? Where are they? Kakya. Ichu. Au. Ichidun. Put it on. Ichidun. Napinkpa. Chahampa. Shoes. Just shoes. Chahampa. Chan is a wood. Hampa is your footwear. A long time ago, who wears wooden footwear? Who? Dutch, right? Yeah, the Crocs, right? Chahampa. Wooden shoes. So a long time ago, out in the east, Dakotas were all over. They're all over. Out in the east, they seen the Washichu coming. Kpe, 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 clicking, kpe, kpe, walking. They look at this. Chahampa undo. He's wearing wood for his moccasins. How crazy is that, right? Go kill an animal, skin it, and make yourself a moccasin, right? You don't have to carve it out. I don't know if they do it that way, but that's where the word chahampa comes from. Chan is wood, hampa is your footwear. It didn't run, no.
I know Dad told us that he bought one out from, he bought a pair about.
Oh, did he? From Holland? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Happened to him.
oh, really? That would have been a keepsake, huh?
I know.
Oh, huh. Yeah, that's a good story. Chahampa. Yeah, so that's where it comes from. The wooden footwear. Chahampa. But you can always say chahampa, just your regular shoe, right? But you can say wanitu chahampa. Wanitu chahampa. Winter footwear. Winter footwear. Obedoketu chahampa. Summer footwear. Wanitu broketu. Chahampa. Who can read that? Dote Ocosye. Yes. Dote Ocosye. What's dote? Your throat. Dote. Throat. Ocosye. The thing that you put there to keep you warm. Ocosye. Yes. Scarf. How do you spell it? Scarf. Kind of like barf, right? Scarf. Dote Ocosye. Scarf. Ah, Ocosye. Or chosia. Choza is something that's thick and it keeps you warm. Choza. Choza. Chos ihidui, dress warm. Chos ihidui, dress warm.
I've never heard that.
Ah,
Chos e,
hidui.
chos e,
Hidui. Ihidui. Choza ihidui. Choza, put a thick, warm clothing on. Choza ihidui. Chos ihidui. Dress warm. Usni, it's cold. Wahi he. Ijamana. Oh, chos ihidui. You didn't hear that before? No? Chos ihidui. I'll write it, okay? Chos is just shortened for choza. Chos I hedu we. Chos I hedu we. Choza ihidui. Choza is warmth. Warmth. You know, choza. Akan upi kinhe chose. That coat is warm. That coat is thick. Therefore, it gives you warmth. Come in, ladies. Oh, I thought there's two ladies coming in. Sorry, I apologize. So that's akanopi choza. Wear that thick jacket. Wear that thick jacket. Akanopi choza. Put that thick jacket on. It's osni. It's cold. Wahi hai. It's snowing. Tate yampa. It's windy. Ichamana. It's storming. So chos ihidui. Chos ihidui. Choza ihidui. Dress warm. Are you understanding what I'm doing? Yeah? Washte? Okay. Chos ihidui. Dote o chosye. Scarf. Dote o chosye. Dokano hai. What did you do with it? Dokano hai. Kakya. Ichu. Get it. Au. Bring it. Put it on.
or it could mean a neck warmer.
A neck warmer, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. A neck warmer. Whatever kind of neck warmer. It could be one of those pull-over ones, whatever it is that keeps your, keep the throat warm. So you don't hochpa, you don't catch a cough. You don't catch a cold. Hochpa is a cold or a flu, you know. So you don't hochpa. Chos ihdui. There's the mitten, na pinkpa, the mitten. Some are short, some are long, it doesn't matter. Did I write that down now? Okay, na pinkpa. Yeah, I did. Na pinkpa. I had to think about that. Na pinkpa. Glove. Na pinkpa. It's the mitten. What about the glove? What about the glove with fingers? What about that? Well, this is how you say it. Na pinkpa. Yuragada. Yuragada. Because you put all your fingers in there. Yuraga. Yide yuraga. Boraga. Yuraga. Karaga. Na pinkpa yuragada. That's your, kind of like a modern day glove, eh? Back in the day, it's just a mitten. It's just a mitten. But later on, then we learned that there is gloves. And that's the word for it. Napinkpa yuragada. Yuragada. Yura is something that's... Napinkpa yuragada. Tokano ha. What did you do with your napinkpa yuragada? Tokano. Kakya. Hoea. Ichu. Au. Eched un. Put it on. Eched un. Usni. Usni. Wahi he. Ijamana. Tateampa. Napinkpa yuragada. Eched un. Wa echun. Go work. Wa echun. What about some of the younger children? They go wayawa, right? Wayawa. Let's talk about that. The things we do every day, right? Wayawa. That's what we're doing tonight. Wayawa. We're going to attend an instruction session. Wayawa. That's what we are doing tonight. Wa ya wa. Wa ya wa. Wa ya wa. This is what makes up the word Yawa. Yawa. This part here. Yawa is to count. Today yawa ito, count this. Ito de yawa ito, count this. Ito ka yawa ito, count that. Ito dina yawa ito, count these. Yawa, count. What if you're writing? What if you're reading? Reading and counting are the same with the language. When you go to school, you yawa, the written word, so you can understand. You'll understand the written word if you yawa. Dawa kiha, if you read, you will understand it. But where do you do that? Wayawa tipi. This is what it is. The school over there is what it is. Wayawa. And you could put tipi. Wayawa tipi. For the kids. Wana yekta, ha? Are you what? Awake? Wana yekta, ha? Ah, yes. Huh. Iotaka. Iotaka wo. Get up. Sit up. Move around. Witka spanwaye. The egg is there. Witka. Kukushi spanwaye. I cooked the bacon. Wa pijuta sapa wakage. Or wachpe wakage. Iotaka. Wota. Eat. Wayawaya. Go to school. Wayawaya. Wayawa. Go to school. Where do we go to school? Wayawa tipi. For the school-age children. Wanakikta. We wake up now. Wanakikta. Wanakikta wo. Iotaka wo. Sit up. Get up. Wota wo. Eat. Juice. Uret kawan. Have a juice. Hehan, and then wayawaya. Wayawa. Go to school. Chos ihdui. Just warm. Chos ihdui. Osni. It's cold outside. Na pink pa on. Put your gloves on. Wani tu chahapa kich on. Put your winter boots on. Osni. It's cold. These are words that we should be using with our takojas or our young children. Why? And again, it's because we're practicing who we are. We're letting the people know that might be interested in who we are. who we actually are by demonstration, by doing it. That way, when you have the language, when you have the culture, and you have a place to do the language and the culture, and here's the citizen, and I'm the chief, and we have the laws, we have our religion or form of prayer. That gives us our nationhood. Then we can tell the government, yeah, keep on reconciling because you have much to pay. You have lots to pay to restore, reconcile, restore what you have taken. I read there a couple of days ago that up north, the Inuit people were compensated. Did you read that? There, a couple of days ago, I read it. The Inuit people were compensated for the RCMP going up there in the 1800s, I think it was, or 1950s to 1960s, for going up there and shooting their dogs. They're compensated. A couple of days ago. Why did they go and shoot their dogs? So they can't go around their territory. They can't fend for themselves. You got to stay here. We'll feed you. We'll give you all the rights that you need, not from Creator anymore, because we're going to take that. But we will give you the food, whatever you need, the medical, a house, and free schooling and all that. But you got to stay here. So we'll shoot your dogs. You might as well say that. You can't move around. So now, I think it was yesterday I read that they're going to be compensated for doing that. So now they're restoring that, I suppose, is what they're doing. So that goes for all tribal nations, that's what they do. So that they can practice their ways, to better manage, better control. There is some statutes or laws, just to kind of talk about that. There's some statutes and laws in 1868, 1869. Two laws were made by the monarchy. The first one, 1868, just a little bit of history here, so it'll make you want to find that language and culture is important. In 1868, there was a law that was made, and it has to do with creating a state department, a government, state department. That was in 1868. And in 1869, they made another statute, law, or bill. The monarchy did that, not Canada. And that statute has to do with enfranchisement, making you, making you not who you're supposed to be, an Indian, a Dakota. They're going to make you a Shichu. 1868, 1869. 1868, I'm pretty sure it's called the State Department. That will be your Indian Affairs today. Or that could be the government today. The State Department. That's what they created in 68. 1869, the Enfranchisement Act is to make you an Indian. They're to work together to take language, culture, land culture, whatever, to take that away. And the 1869 one, it goes on to say, to better manage lands and ordinance lands. To better manage people, lands, and ordinance lands. That's what it says. They're to work together. So that didn't come into place until 1871. What happened in 1871? Treaties. Treaties were made in 1871. After the treaties were signed, then you signed your sovereignty away. To better manage Indians and ordinance lands. Must create State Department first. And those are actual laws. You can search it. It's there. I mean, this is not a lie. But this is what they did. So, do we want to be better managed? Who's going to manage us? Huh? Do we want to manage ourselves? We've got to do it. We have to do it. How do we do that? By learning who we are. By learning who we are. We can say, I can better manage myself. I know the English language, and I know my culture, my language. I know what my people want. The people put me here to be their spokesperson, and this is what they want. So we can better manage ourselves. This is what we can say for Sioux Valley Band. You know? We have a say. We're sovereign. There's a, to go a little bit further, there's a, back in the 1970s? Yeah, back in 1970s. A gentleman, it's been, I've read it, the gentleman in the state of New York, a gentleman, an Indian gentleman, wanted to challenge the jurisdiction from the state of New York. As you can find it, it's called State of New York versus Boots. Boots is the Indian, state of New York is the government. So they went to court, and long story short, when the judge came to make his decision, of course it's a long decision on why the government has jurisdiction over the Indian. And part of his speech was, and it's simple. He says to Boots, the Indian, he says, you can't go to church on Sunday and be an Indian on Monday. Huh? I mean, you can't change your religion. You can't change your way of life. Huh? And still call yourself an Indian. You're not. You've changed your religions. You're not who you are. You're lost part of this 5, 6 different, you know. So that's recorded. That's the state of New York versus Boots about jurisdiction. So we collectively are Dakota. We must remain Dakota. The only way we can do that is to learn, practice and learn and use the language, so that we can say, we can determine for ourselves what we want to do with our lives. You know, old Sitting Bull, the Grand Chief Sitting Bull. We've referenced him here. He says, let us put our minds together, see what life we can make for our children. 7 generations. 7. And are we at the 7th generation now? Somewhere around there. So I thought I'll just mention that, you know, being who we are, who we're supposed to be. And I'm getting tired. I think I'll end it with that. I know we still have lots to talk about Waiawa Tipi, and that's what we're doing. I'll leave it at that. This is our school. This is what we're practicing here. Waiawa, Yawa. You know, let's put our minds, just like sitting, we'll put our minds together. See what we can make with this Waiawa Tipi. Hey? That's an awesome phrase that he used at that time. Shortly after 1876, I believe. Collected his chiefs. He says, let us put our minds together. See what kind of life we can make for our children. And then guess who those children are? Great-great-grandchildren. We are who he's talking about. Hey, Chitu, that is the truth. So I will leave that. If I have an opportunity, next week maybe we'll go back to Waiawa Tipi again. We'll start from there. But I think we did good, right? We talked about what the day was like, what we could be doing as soon as we kikita, as soon as we wake up. Iotaka, we get up, and chosia, ihidui, dress warm. Go to the gaming, go to the petro, chadiduha, you know. I just need one number. Well, it's tatang pa outside, otaku da wayakishni, You know, those kind of conversation we had. So I think it was good. And I hope you learned from it, you know. And the people at home, with a good heart, touching with a good mind. I talk to you in this fashion. Hey, chitero mitaku yape, satan, yakapo, wanito opte, kept it. Wait to a mac, and you'll walk towards the spring. Hey, chitero mitaku.